So this is the 2021 Mitsubishi Strada GLS two-wheel drive automatic, and I have never been so excited to drive a pickup truck because we used to own a previous generation Mitsubishi Strada GL 4x4 manual and the GLS Sport V as well, the top of the line version. Sadly, I don't have pictures of our top of the line model, but here's some video evidence. This is the only footage I have with that pickup truck.
Yung video.
So like all Mitsubishis now, you have the dynamic shield design. I really like this look. Probably the best looking pickup truck in my opinion. So this being the middle variant, you only have halogen lights. This is your main one, if I remember. Also glare on clearance is 220 millimeters. I don't mind the chrome as well here, but if I were to buy this car, I will just block this out. Just simple looking wheels, chromed out mirrors, and a side step. It's actually quite wide. You can step on it easily. I'll demonstrate. Yep, just like before. I will demo the interior later. Wait a moment. Let's go to the back. Of course, the rear now looks way better than the previous generation, I must say. Also, this part is chromed out. So since we're here already, this is the load bed. There is no assist. Just be careful. Ow. It is quite heavy. This is our drawback from our ownership experience as well. It is quite heavy. Just be careful with that. Since this is taller, wider, and longer than the previous generation, the width is 66.5 inches. The length is 56 inches. And the height is 19 inches. And you got tie-down hooks here. From what I remembered, we only had 2 on each side. Now there are 4 all the way there. At least, unlike the Navara, this already comes as standard. You don't have to pay for a bed liner anymore. Oh man, I miss having a pickup truck, to be honest. 917 kilograms. But its brake towing capacity is 2,500 kilograms. Very generous. But we never towed anything before. But when we loaded this up before, when we were transferring houses, this car did wonders for us. We carried a lot of tall items before. This car was very handy to us. Also, the rear fog lamp is here on the left. And the reverse light is here on the right. Very odd setup, but I'll take it. Now I will show you the interior. So this is the interior of the 2021 Mitsubishi Strada GLS two-wheel drive automatic. Start off here. There are a lot of plastics. That is the one drawback. Even from before, there are a lot of plastics. There's only one soft touch here. It's cloth, by the way. And there's gloss black here. Anyway, it's not too big of an issue. Also, you have a cubby space here and bottle holder on either side. Also, there are grab handles on either side. So in case you have a hard time going up, you just hold that. I never got to use that much when we owned our old Strada. But there are a lot of improvements though with this new one. I must say, with the steering wheel, it's hard but it's fine. But there are paddle shifters. I remember my dad and I, we used to fight a lot. When I wanted to upgrade from our GL variant to the GLS Sport V variant, I wanted an automatic so badly because driving that manual, it was so difficult driving it in traffic, like in EDSA. The clutch has a long travel and it's still a high bite. The brakes, as I keep mentioning before, it's very weird. One press, it's very light braking, then the next bite, it's full on stop already. So I'm wondering if this will still do the same thing. But given this is automatic, now I can concentrate more with the braking. And this is why I wanted the Strada also. This has paddle shifters. So I can't wait to try this out. This is only a 6-speed automatic transmission, unlike the Montero, which is an 8-speed, despite having the same drivetrain and engine. So here in the middle, Just have silver trim here, the gloss back touches, but at least still physical buttons with their climate control. And oddly enough, we have a lot of blank buttons here. That's triggering my OCD, but at least all of them are blank. There's not one button that works and the rest don't. All of it are blank. 12-volt socket here, an aux cord, USB port, another blank space here, cubby space, enough for a phone. Nope. Then here in your gear lever, it's still hard, but it's quite thin from underneath. But what am I to complain about? It's gloss black around here. You have a manual mode here, weird civil trimming here, but it's nice. And there's your leather part. This is the only leather part here in the center console with white stitching. You have a cubby space here, 2 cup holders as well with an ashtray. It's a nice touch. We didn't have that before. A manual handbrake, and here in the central glove box, it's narrow but it's deep. Okay, that's actually not bad. So glove box, yeah, still small like before. Also, you have a sunglasses holder here, more lights here. I should have opened that earlier, come on. Anyway, visor, you have a ticket clip here. Nope. Then down the passenger side, you have a mirror. And also the seating here looks really weird. There's a weird pattern. Looks like sorry, I'm not gonna show that on screen because I have a phobia of that. I mean, I'm not have a phobia, but it just looks, just being honest. But I do like the material, the black part. It's really soft, I must say. No leather. It's not like an athlete or a GT, but it will do. So here on the driver's side only, you have the height adjustment for the seat and the recline lever. And then here on the left side, you have adjustments for your mirror here. And weirdly, the start-stop button here is on the left. I remember that used to be there. I mean, here on the right side. So very weird they put it now on the left side. But anyway, it's just a small thing. And there are 3 blank buttons here with your electronic stability control. That's it. Now let's go to the back. Also, before we move on to the back, the brake pedal is much wider than before. That's probably why I feel the brakes are very weird. So here in the back of the Mitsubishi Strada, leg room, feet room, and headroom. I think just same as before. And the trademark of this Mitsubishi Strada is the J line. My sister was so comfortable here in the back before. I would say it's a bit better now than the Navara Pro 4X that I drove. I can't compare the VE or VL because I have not driven or ridden one, or it must be the same. But I would say the seat here in the back is much more reclined, so it's a bit more comfortable in longer rides. My sister didn't even complain here with our previous generation. This is the only pickup my sister likes, so for now as well. So simple layout also here, more plastics, cloth on this part, more gloss black here, 1 bottle holder on either side only, no cubby space. And then here in the middle, another cubby space, half a phone, more than half a phone only, and then 2 USB ports. We didn't have that before, but this is a nice addition. And also there are seat pockets on either side. Not the deepest, but it's enough for like a notebook or something like that. So same material here with the weird pattern and everything. And here in the middle, you have a very small central armrest with 2 cup holders. That's a nice addition as well. And getting out can sometimes be difficult, as I'll demonstrate. Yeah, there's no handle to pull it, so you literally just have to put your fingers in and then pull it out. That's it. Anyway, it's just a small thing I just noticed. So transmission tunnel is not that big, it's just around that much. So I sit here in the middle. Not much in the way as well, not too wide. Headroom now, just eats up a bit more, but it's not too bad as well. Sitting here in the middle is quite hard, I would say, because of the central armrest only. But it still has that reclined position, as I said from before, the J line. And okay, I don't remember having this in our old Strada because I barely sat here in the back, only my sister. I wish she was here, but anyway. As well, there's this handy feature with the Mitsubishi Strada in the back. I remember we used to hide our Christmas gifts here before. Just pull this and there's extra storage here in the back. Also, it serves as your toolkit. You have a wrench here and a jack. We only used to fit your small gifts, but we were always worried if we might crush them, but it did not. That's a good thing. You can fold this flat, just make sure you have to remove this. So without it, I'll show you the engine. So this is the engine of the Mitsubishi Strada GLS 2-wheel drive automatic. It's a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder diesel engine with 178 horsepower and 430 Newton meters of torque. Not the most powerful in its class, but given this is the GLS 2-wheel drive variant, this weighs only 1,810 kilograms, one of the lightest in its class, if not mistaken. So I'll just put here the weight of the competitors on screen. So there's the turbocharger, it's quite big. And from our old Strada, our experiences, this is for the manual only. I'm not sure if this will have the same characteristic. Our old Strada had turbo lag, so I had to drive it like Ayrton Senna, where I'm always pushing the throttle, so the turbocharger is always pulled up. So I wonder if this will act the same way. And I want to see if really the automatic is better than the manual variant. And I know from Soju and Reagan, this is a fun pickup truck to drive since it's so light. So I can't wait to drive it. So let's go. So this is how you change the digital display here in the middle. You just press here this button on the middle. So I will leave it in the fuel meter and or average speed. And there, as before, like in the expander cross, your eco score, if it's 5 it's great, if it's 1 that's bad. So I will check on how will I do after the test drive. So I will leave it in the fuel consumption. So here on the left side you have adjustments for your volume. This used to be just one circular button up and down, now it's just left and right. Yep. And then your cruise control functions here on the right. We never used ours also, by the way, since ours was a manual. And here in the infotainment display, I think it's better from before, since this is almost the same in the expander cross. Same lang to, sir, no?
Yes, sir.
So yep, better than before, I must say. And it's not as scattered like in the old Strada, where everything you can see, there's always names and so on and so forth. But you can adjust that, but I found it annoying from our old Strada only. Yeah, this is better than before, I must say. Then the easy link here for your phone. I'm not gonna test that, I'm not allowed to. Settings, display. So that's about it. Reverse camera is the same as the expander cross, but I would say it's much better than our old Strada, which is kinda useless, I will admit that. But this is way better than before. So here I am inside of the Mitsubishi Strada. I'm finally driving this, the new one. And let's get all the bad stuff out of the way. Just being honest, from our old Stradas, yes, it's still the same brake feeling. Like, look, first bite, nothing, and then second bite, look, full stop. But advantage though, these are really strong brakes. But it's kind of annoying before because ours was a manual transmission, and this is now the automatic paddle shifters. Then I'm driving this already. I can focus much more now on the brakes rather than the clutch, or both at the same time. I would say, yeah, it's still the same most of the time, and the aircon is so freaking cold, same as before. This is why we also bought that car in the first place. And here, driving around BGC only, slightly intimidating thing to drive. Of course, it's almost the same size with its competition, so on and so forth. That's given with pickup trucks, but in the end, you'll get used to it pretty quickly. Just have to watch out for little kids running around in the roads here like that. And for comparison, this is how big the Strada is. That's an Audi Q7. Also, this is two-wheel drive now. I can notice differences with the handling, since this is much lighter already, since this does not have the four-wheel drive system. The steering is light. So this is already an EPS unit from the hydraulic steering from before. It still feels the same. I'm very impressed with that. So doing a tight maneuver here. Oh dear. Yeah, it's a truck. But I was not expecting to pass that. This is the first time I failed this U-turn test. I noticed when you put it in manual mode, at low speeds only, I noticed the automatic transmission is quite jerky. So I will put it in manual mode. There. This is going to first gear. I will stop. There. See? There was quite of jerkiness, but that's only low speed. High speed, it's fine. Also, I forgot to mention with the paddle shifters. I'm just in D mode. There's a manual mode here if you just put it to the left. But if you're in D mode, you want to go manual mode, just simply press the minus button. Then if you want to put it back to automatic mode, you just press this, the plus button, and there's an off sign as well here. Fold it down for a few seconds and it's back to manual mode. So we're here. Let's try manual mode. Oh! Oh! Oh god. So slight improvement from before. The torque delivery is really early. Yeah, this feels much more agile and much more peppy, I would say. Hence, it's the lightest truck in its class, as I said earlier. Wow, this truck goes. Same as before, there is still quite that turbo lag. Yeah, from low speed, then you just want to floor it. There, see? So you still have to drive like Ayrton Senna, just keep pressing the throttle so the turbo will just keep spooling up. But I'm used to that already since we owned two Stradas in the span of 1.5 years. So it's a characteristic you have to get used to with Stradas. It's so good to drive, I must say. And look, handling wise, it's so light as well. Very impressive for a pickup truck. I'll be honest, it's kind of like driving a crossover instead of a pickup truck itself. Besides the horn, I think it's still the same, squeaky, your bump, big hump. It isn't, I don't think it's as bouncy as before, but the suspension is firm, yes, but I don't say it's not a comfortable car. Ah, there, okay. I should not get used to that. Look, that was red line, it did not automatically upshift. But going lower speed, if you're just scrolling, it's not as jerky as like from a standstill. The upshifting is not that bad, I would say. The time you press this and then it changes gear, it's almost a second. So yeah, I was expecting this thing to automatically upshift despite being in manual mode, but it did not, to my surprise. But I would say the shifts are not bad. And this is the only pickup truck in its class with paddle shifters. This is the thing I want in a pickup truck. As I said also with my Navara Pro 4X review. And oh dear, yep, second time in a row. Turning radius is around 5.9 meters, if not mistaken. Yeah, so tight turns and driving around the city can be difficult sometimes. I would say the response time from the throttle, then when it goes, I would say it improved massively from before. The turbo lag is not as noticeable as before. The brakes, yeah, still the same, but this is the automatic variant. You'll get used to it. It's not bad. Navigation also is improved from before. Aircon's still somewhat the same. What else did I miss here? Yeah, the shift time, I would say, not too bad, as I said. And the only one in this class with paddle shifters. This is why I want the Strada as well. And my father didn't want me to get one. He still says manual is always better. I agree with him. I can't blame him. Anyway, either way, I would say, if you're going for a manual or automatic, they're still pretty good. Okay, there's a delay, but wow, wow, this thing just goes. Yeah, now I believe Reagan and showed you this is a pretty fast car to drive. Truck, sorry. Jeez. NVH here is pretty impressive. Yes, you can still hear the diesel engine, but I would say it's not as bad, I would say, as the Navara Pro 4X. Very impressed with this truck. So, it's night and day, the differences between the previous generation Strada and this one. Sorry if I keep talking about it because I really loved our experience with our old Stradas. Would I want one again in this variant, specifically just a two-wheel drive model? Yes. I don't off-road that much. I only mainly drive around the city. Yes, I would buy one again because why not? It's surprisingly peppy. And here's the bumpy part of the route. NVH test. Look, not that bad. Yes, there's a slight bounce. You can feel the suspension is quite firm, but not too bad at all. Not the most comfortable in its class, but it's not far off from the competition. So, fuel economy, 20 liters per 100 kilometers. I think that's 5 kilometers per liter. Yeah, but still not bad for a big truck. Wow. Yeah, I understand Reagan's point na he said this is like a super sports truck. I agree now. Of course, people will buy this as a lifestyle vehicle, which I will too. Oops. And the two-wheel drive will suit people who are not off-roading that much, who are just doing city driving. Yeah, this is a perfect pickup truck. But I would say, I think this can go off-road, like heavy off-road, like what we do in an unnamed province. We heavy off-road our manual before. We just left in two-wheel drive mode just to experiment. It handled it well. So imagine this two-wheel drive variant, since it's like 100 kilos lighter than the four-wheel drive variant. So I am expecting this to off-road pretty well, despite being two-wheel drive only. If I had the money, I would buy one again. Yeah, I would literally buy one again. I miss having a pickup truck, especially a Strada. So let's repeat one more time. Wow. So I would like to thank Sir Alvin Sapno, Miss Diane Resgo of Mitsubishi BGC, and Auto Hub Group. So that concludes my review. I want one so badly again. But automatic, Brian. Sorry pa. So hope you guys like and subscribe. And I will see you with more future car reviews. And pickup trucks. Bye-bye.